This is a story about how a new entrant in the global photography market, Fuji, demonstrated agility and disrupted the initially dominant position of the originator of this industry, Kodak. In 1888, Eastman Kodak, an American company, launched the first commercial camera into the market. From that time onwards, the newfound photography market would grow exponentially and become very popular across the entire world. Kodak's strategy was what is now commonly referred to by strategists as a razor and blade strategy. Most of its profit comes from selling films to be used in its cameras, while the cameras themselves were sold at low profit, if any. With the so-called razor and blade strategy, Kodak dominated sales, especially in the United States, where it had captured market shares of 90% of all film sales and 85% of camera sales. In 1934, a new company was created that would in the future go on to change the entire sector. Based on a government plan to establish a domestic photographic film manufacturing industry, Fuji Photo Film Company started operations in Japan. Adopting a similar business model to Kodak, Fuji Films dominated the Japanese market and the sales of both cameras and film. In the mid-1950s, Fujifilm commenced its global expansion into other countries. The company entered into the United States market in 1965. In the mid-1980s, Kodak's luck started to change when Fuji, in a big marketing campaign, became the official sponsor of the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles. This campaign helped to boost Fuji's sales in the United States and would soon threaten Kodak's top spot. With access to far cheaper film than Kodak, Fuji undercut Kodak and stole considerable market share, while Kodak on the other hand had little success in penetrating Japan. Meanwhile, also in the 1980s, a major technological change started to arise. The world initiated its change towards digital media and technology. New digital equipment was being launched exponentially, including digital photograph cameras. Fujifilm realised in the 80s that photography would shift rapidly into the digital space. It also realised that photography itself would not be very profitable in itself. The razor and blade strategy clearly did not work with digital cameras. Fuji therefore developed a three-pronged strategy. First, it would squeeze as much money out of the film business as possible. Second, it would prepare for the switch to digital. And third, it would develop new business lines. Contrary to Kodak's strategy, Fuji decided to invest to create in-house expertise in new businesses, instead of subcontracting to third parties. As a result of this strategy, Fuji implemented several initiatives, such as installing kiosks to print digital photos, for example in Walmart stores, investing $4 billion into the business since 2000 to enter the optical films market for the LCD flat panel screen segment using its knowledge in film R&D, increasing its stake in Fuji Xerox, $1.6 billion for an additional 25%, launching a line of cosmetics, Astalift, which is still sold in Asia and Europe this year using its existing expertise in antioxidant components. Fuji also restructured its photography business as a result of its conclusion that this market would become less profitable. It slashed costs and jobs. In one 18-month stretch, it books more than $3.3 billion in restructuring costs and depreciation and to shed superfluous distributors, development labs, managers, and researchers. The effort paid off. Today, Fujifilm controls nearly 40% of the photo finishing market in America, whereas Kodak's share is only 15%, according to the research firm IBIS World. The result of this history is well known in the business world. Kodak, which not so long ago was one of the leading technology companies in the world that dominated the photography market, filed for bankruptcy in 2012. Fujifilm, the Japanese company that initially copied Kodak's strategy, but that was able to adapt and restructure itself when the technology changed, enjoyed $1.7 billion of net income in 2011, 6.2% of net revenue, and only 15% of the revenues come from imaging solutions.